All right. So, if you look in the Geopolitics 101 chat here, there is the first map and the latest map. I like looking at these a whole lot, especially our continent, because that's really what's relevant to us. Do you guys know about the Northeastern Accords?
Kind of.
Okay. Well, so Todrog, the name of our continent in the top
Vietnam.
right hand side, um,
Da.
everybody sort of signed a mutual defense pact, non-aggression pact, whatever. So, in effect, aside from like government administration, we're sort of in this confederation where if anything happens from outside, we're all galvanized to defend it. I quite like it. I should, after the lecture is over, I will put the document in the chat if I can find it. But let's see what else is going on. The Athos and Bardonian War. That really didn't have a lot of substance to it. I think they just wanted to have a RP war thing. And you can sort of tell because the Abexilus national announcements hardly talked about it at all other than to like advertise. But before that there was no lead up. There was really no nothing. And it just led a lot of people, myself included, to believe that it was just sort of like a fake war that they did to have like something under their belt, like an RP token or whatever. But yes.
Can we talk about the beekeeper spiciness?
Yes. So, BPEC declared war on Burkle. If you look at the latest map and look at the dead center, you'll be able to see that BPEC is on one side of the continent and Burkle is on the other. Now, a couple notable things have happened in the lead up to this. That being that Athos, the victor of the first and last war, or latest war, came to the aid of BPEC. Athos is with BPEC, and that goes a long way, at least in terms of the popular imagination, because they're the only ones with a real win. But a nation called Corey is backing up Burko going against BPEC. And I decided to list Corey, even though I didn't really know them, because they had over 500 members, and I thought that was sizable.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're looking at here is potentially continental domination by BPEC. And I say that because I've been combing through the national announcements, and I've seen a lot against BPEC, but I have not seen a lot against Burkle, and this is like call-outs, like, these guys are raiding us, these guys are doing this and that thing to agitate the situation and undermine our autonomy. I've seen BPEC do that. I have not seen Burkel do that. And with the rapid expansion of BPEC, this seems to be a bid to control their major island, their continent. And the war is on Sunday, so we'll have to see what comes of it. What do you guys think? What have you guys seen or heard?
I have a
like,
question.
Yes. Hazel
Do you
first.
think that is more to do with the personalities that are running the nations and just like Coal Keeper repeating, trying to be a Venovian wannabe?
Maybe so, maybe so. A lot of the nations in Abexilus right now are spiritual successors of the Rathnir Eldham nations, and it would not surprise me in the slightest if they were on some world conquest bent because they were doing the same thing in the last server, and that's what they know.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
You go first, Matt.
Fuck.
You go first.
Okay, I go first. Also, I would say that BPEC has a very strange, I would say, ideology. It's very authoritarian and a bit cultish. I do have some screenshots.
Ooh. T.
Yeah, this is going to be the T class.
That's what I'm saying.
It's called the combat. The combat.
You got this. I believe in you.
Command. They half of their shit is B puns. Okay,
Okay. Nice. I like it.
that isn't my fault.
Do you mean commandments?
No, it's supposed to be commandments, but it's commandments.
Oh,
Like
comb. Like honeycomb. I got you.
COMB. Oh, see, now that's creative. But why do they gotta be dicks about it?
Okay, let's see. A few cultish. Rule 7 or commandments is 9. 9 is concerning. 8 is concerning. Um,
Do you have a picture? Did you put a picture
yes,
somewhere?
yes.
He put them in university.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, okay. You said 8 and 9, and what else?
8, 9, and 3 are the most concerning. Some of them are just haha funny B, so I don't really mind them. Like, who gives a
Beeple.
shit?
That's funny.
They like their puns. They like their puns.
What is Obseer?
wow.
That's not a pun I got.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
Which one
that
is
went
that
over my
one?
head.
OBseer, like an overseer. Oh,
Oh, okay. Oh, I got it. I figured it out. Thank you.
I think it's fun, but they are like I wouldn't say they are highly authoritarian compared to most
Yeah, I mean,
SW nations.
in a fantasy setting where you're dealing with 100% other players, authoritarianism, like massive authoritarianism, has this place. If you have somebody who's competent and highly motivated in running the nation, opening it up to more and more people just opens it up for more and more corruption, betrayal, whatever.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Peak authoritarianism, dictatorship, is probably the least stress of all of the government types on Stoneworks if you're directly
But people
participating.
don't like that because they want to do their individual art.
Yeah, they do. But the
So
more
you
and
don't
more,
join that nation.
yeah, the more and more it opens up, the more and more it's likely that things are going to go pear-shaped. That's why democracies don't really work.
Well, I don't like democracy, so
Democracies are just like,
IRL
if you
either.
really want to have, like, if you want to set Stoneworks to like ultra hard mode, you make a democracy. It's like
Agreed.
It's like Gavelkind in CK3 if you played that, where eventually everything's just gonna break apart and you have to start over.
Gavel kind? What is that?
Gavelkind is where the king dies and the kingdom is split 3 ways, or however many sons there are.
Confederate partition.
Sort of, I guess.
I love CK3.
Yeah. So like, if the king had 3 sons and the king dies, the kingdom now becomes 3 nations. It splits up when under crisis.
It depends if the king holds multiple kingdom titles
I
or
suppose.
duchy titles. Like if the king is a single duke.
I'm talking about
that
real
means-
life. I'm not necessarily talking about CK3 game mechanics.
Oh, okay.
Like
Sorry.
how England has a clear line of
My
succession.
paradox autism hit me again. My bad, cuz.
A good example of this in real life is when Charlemagne died, and
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
Empire
yeah.
of Francia was split between
The three
West
sons.
Francia, East Francia, and what, Lothringen?
Yeah, or Middle Francia,
Um,
if you want to be a historian.
exactly. And they immediately were at each other's throats, and it was very funny, and history ensued.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, let's move on and talk about what peace we foresee with the BPEC Baldur War.
I
Well,
was
like,
gonna say, so I have a hunch on this one.
What do you say?
So, looking at the map in great detail, I feel like B keeps trying to solidify their position because Bikul has nearby claims.
Uh-huh. You could call it insecurity, but I think BPEC is trying to, like, take over the continent.
Yeah.
I think
Yes,
However,
they're
the
highly
ultimate goal.
imperialist, and that's why people don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Bakul could capitalize on this and make their position stronger on the continent themselves.
If they win.
If they
win.
However, I want to talk to the Burko guy. I haven't spoken to the leader of Brookhill, but I want to see what his designs for peace look like, because the way... Also, it's very confusing on the map. If you look over to where BPEC and Brookhill are, in pretty much the middle of the map, the Empire of Brookhill is purple, but around BPEC, there are like 3 little enclaves of Brookhill, and they're a different color.
Yeah.
But it still says Brookhill.
That is actually one of the casus belli for the war.
Yeah, so I think if BPEC wins on the short end, they'll be taking those 3 enclaves.
And
also
control.
Burkle's capital would be ruined, but it will be either way.
It's
Is
not
that
clear
part
on
of
the map here.
Don't you have to have that in your war deck? The winning and losing
Oh, hey, Vaughn.
conditions?
Is that public information?
Yeah, I think it's private, so
It is private, but I mean, it'll become public.
yeah.
Not going to lie, I feel like looking at the map, I see Bardonia on the map.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like they're biding their time.
This is why,
That's
also,
what I think too.
this is why I think we, Akari Imperium, and this is public information, I talk about this so I don't feel bad talking about it, that we should expand more, like, volunteer settlers, because Bardonia is all over the map, Athos is all over the map.
Ain't that against the rules?
It is.
Or did they...
But they're doing it anyway. Or it might have been against the rules at the very beginning, but I'm not sure if it changed. Because I know it was a rule in the very, very beginning.
YA is just gonna die.
They're cooked.
Yeah.
Yimu Aldal or the Yimulari?
Emo. I thought they were the same thing.
They're not, unfortunately. I thought the same thing, too, for a while.
just they keep coming out the works.
Where are they located on the map? Do you know where they are?
They're kind of they're in the north. You know, just go north of the Bardonia in the center map.
North of Bardonia in the...
No, like around the beacon continent. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Oh, I see. I found them. I wonder who the Yimulari are. Maybe they're like the Adramas Coalition and absolutely broke apart. Are you guys familiar with that? This is a good segue.
I heard that
Kind of.
Jagafa fell apart.
So, from what I understand, the Adramas Coalition, which is the name of that whole island and everyone on it, we're all in it together. They're doing some sort of like confederation thing to mutually strengthen their hand before the server dropped and immediately when it dropped. They were all going to help each other. But at some point before the server dropped, while everybody was still making their discords, they couldn't agree on anything, and it became sort of like a Cold War. And so now it's divided between 2 factions. I will post the little map in the thing here. Maps of Exodus. Here we are. I just did it entirely wrong. Geopolitics 101. Maps of Exodus. Okay, posted. This is what it looks like. People think Gertek is going to win just because they sort of have the most history, and Dawnfear is on their side, who are the... What? Dawnfear is 2B2T, right? They came from 2B2T.
Yeah.
They're mainly a building group, but they do have capable... I mean...
Mm-hmm. And Gertek has
it's still
PvP
support.
experience from, what, Eldham? Late Eldham. So
I agree. I think Bardonia is just biding its time until things settle a little more, because that's a lot of little wars that are a drain on resources. I think they're waiting for the continent to solidify more and go after the big target.
Maybe
and go after
so.
a big
I
target
wonder-
or two.
I
And
wonder-
then people will capitulate to them, just like in Ragnar.
Are you guys aware of the belligerence of the Sting War?
The Sting
Of the
War?
BPEC War? BPEC War. It's another name for it.
I've been going through the national announcements, but I
There
haven't
is
made
a full list.
there's a list. Can you link?
It's not even a leak. It's public information.
I mean,
Wiki
is there like a
It's a wiki page.
where
I
link
think you need this.
link me immediately?
How much you want to bet it's going to be a matter of time until another coalition forms against Bardonia, though?
I think there's a coalition going to form against BPEC eventually.
There's already a somewhat coalition forming against Bardonia.
Yeah.
Oh, hi,
there
Vaughn.
is.
I did
Yeah.
not-
Versus Bardonia.
I did not.
I
know
mean,
this.
that's just an inevitability. Let's be honest. Everyone has their eye on Bardonia always. They can't really pull the same thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Where's
how
do you guys
former
think,
Aurora?
I don't even know. I know they exist, but
Evan,
They
what's
have
your
a new
opinion on the
name.
BPEC war?
Is it Atoria?
Oh, what is it? My opinion on what is it? The BPEC war? Gonna go both ways. In my
it
opinion.
could go both ways.
So, what is it? Do you really think there's gonna be one battle done? I feel like it's gonna be more prolonged. Two or three
I
battles.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
two
like-
without a doubt.
I'm saying this, Venos are good at like team fighting and stuff. You know, they fight in the nether, they do pretty good. But what is it?
Whoops.
They do a lot of team fighting, but then also now, what's it? The others need to, like, you know, Athos needs to try to figure out what they're doing with also, because Athos has Aragotha as well, Aragotha, Merkits, those kind of groups.
And
And
we
then
were
also
talking about
OTL.
Bardonia a little bit earlier. Do you think their loss in the RP war is going to affect how they? Wanna
The
go
RP
forward?
war is fucked.
Yeah, but it was a loss. I'm just
What
saying. Do you
is
think
it?
a loss
Like,
would right off the
They
gate?
still got
I
that
don't think it
connection.
matters.
Yeah, I don't
It
think
doesn't really matter now. It was just some funny shit.
I see, I see.
Like, what is it?
No
was just
one, no
funny
one
shit.
was banned for calling each other slurs, so it was a RP war.
I see.
Yeah. There was no target banning in this war, therefore, yes.
I always thought that was kind of a test for Bardonia. Bardonia testing
It was
what
a
they
test
can
for,
do and
like,
who
the
can they do it.
server.
An internal thing for them too.
Oh, I'm just
There's a
saying
lot
this.
of new people in Bardonia too.
I'm saying losing that war really helped out Bardonia anyway.
Hmm.
To them, it was a win-win.
Be-
Yeah.
Oh, they're
it's
motivated
kicked them
now.
in. Oh,
Yeah.
they're motivated, yeah. It's
Yeah.
kicked them in.
I mean, Bardonia
Like,
has
but-
That's cool.
Yeah, they use that as an internal tool to show their people that, hey, we can lose a war. Get your shit together.
I mean, we look at the map once again on the continent. North of Perkul is a small chunk of Bardonia on the other side of the continent.
Yeah, Bardonia has sort of got bits and pieces everywhere, even though they're not supposed to.
They're just buying their time.
Mm-hmm. Making little treaty ports in every island. Mm.
Anyway, this is gonna Beekeep and Perkul. This could, I kind of agree with Vaughn. This could be multiple battles for continental supremacy. Because aren't they the two largest on the continent? Or they're big, or do we have a bigger players at work here that could be in play?
Oh, there's plenty. Vino and Drakkar on the Brukel side, and then what is it? There's quite a few, and also you've got to be looking at the next war down the line. What's Crusadon? Tritle has been fucking up too much.
You know, the Aurorans don't have, excuse me, the order like they used to.
Yeah, the Aurorans will never be a world power again.
They're just RPing currently. That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah. Aurora was lightning in a bottle. It will never happen again.
Hmm. And that's okay.
And I think that's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Vaughn, did you? I don't know how much of this is public information, but did you want to talk about the vassal acquisitions? Is that something?
Oh,
You'd like to
what
share?
is it? Oh, they pay us, so that's cool.
Okay.
Why did
Well,
they
maybe-
join though?
Maybe you
Why'd
can
they join?
explain why vassals
Protection?
are important and
Oh,
why
is
that's a
it?
good thing.
If I'm
Like,
really
why
gonna
don't we
go
annex
into-
them instead?
Oh, what's it called? So vassals, what is it? Currently, vassals act as like more independent provinces. Not gonna lie, they act as a province, but yet they keep like some sort of name externally. So it's good to keep them around like that, and they keep their own kind of separate identity.
Mhm. Plus,
And also,
because they're a vassal, can't we use them as a jump-off point for a war in another area?
honestly, it projects our power more on the server as well. It's more what's it called, power projection, to show we can go do this.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if we had, do we have a vassal in the Middle Continent? I don't think we do.
We have that one, not necessarily the Middle Continent, but Archon. To our west.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a few
I think
vassals.
you're in the subcontinent.
Mhm.
They're in the subcontinent of
Yeah.
Cathalat.
Yeah, but can we use them to war deck someone in that area?
Oh yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Nations
So-
they didn't give rules about what claims we can use to go war another continent.
So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
kind of, to me, that's a better answer to Bardonia's let's make fake forts everywhere
Oh, they're
and,
just
s-
like
and see
honestly,
before they cancel us.
Mm. The perk of ours is that people are populating them and upkeeping them and are motivated.
I mean,
honestly,
I don't know
I'm
if the
telling you
vassals are
this.
active.
What Bardonia and what Bardonia also Dunfuel's doing it the best, but like just hogging a bunch of land and going to sell it, it's money.
That's
Yeah,
smart. That's
that's.
smart.
I mean, it wouldn't
That's what you
surprise.
do.
That's another strat budget you could be doing.
Like, what is it? That's some center continent stuff, and also, but yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Also, 2 stacks, P-pack.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, the thing I realize is, I think I realized another point that can be made is it makes it less obvious that Kari is on the map compared to Bardonia. It's like this huge chunk is owned by Bardonia. You're like, oh,
Exactly.
Mhm.
vassals kind of have the name Sprim, but so it's like, oh, just
Hmm.
you don't get the Imperius label because we all know how Imperials get labeled.
Okay.
Okay.
That was after Neo and El Cool failed to persuade me to join him.
Hmm. Got that. How do you think things are going with? This is much maybe a question for Vaughn. Are you guys familiar with the man-made drama between us and Casa Rinduan?
Casa Winrong?
Our neighbor.
Ah, our only
Nah.
real neighbor.
Okay, so I don't know how they pronounce it, but I
That's
Oh,
a
is
wrong
that
one.
is that the nation
call
to
it
the
queso.
south of Econ?
No.
That's west.
Across our waterway?
The Kingdom of Eldorath, directly beside the Arcan vessel, is sort of, I wrote their lore, and it's very similar to the Icon lore. And in Akari, well, I wrote Akari lore and I wrote Eldorath lore. And in one of the books of Akari lore, there's a storm on the ocean, and a ton of the ships get whisked away. And so it's sort of hinted at that Eldorath is a kingdom or a civilization made by those who got swept off course.
So they're using it as a retroactive claim for a continent.
What? Say it again, please.
I thought that. So let me guess, they're gonna use that as a way of we get a claim on your territory.
Well, they're our vassals, so
Oh, awkwardness.
what I'm trying to say is in the lore, they're both derived from the settlers who came across the sea. They're both derived from the same ethnic group. But with the Nakasa Rinduan stuff, there is a plan for like a cattle raid RP war kind of thing, because I think a mushroom cow was killed.
Oh, that was actually canceled by Vaughn.
No.
Oh.
Why did Von cancel it? Did he give justification?
There's a lot of shit going on,
Oh,
and people on their end increasingly became. It was really hard to set a date for everything
I see.
because it's summer vacations. Mom said I can't be on the computer that much.
I understand. I want to talk
We lost.
to the Triumvirate of Daishella. See how they're doing with those 2 vassals over here next to our 3 vassals. That might be a thing in the future. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Mm-hmm.
It depends what Vaughn wants to do.
Yeah, I expect any future trouble is going to come from someone trying to take over one of our vassals, and then we have to come to their defense.
Before I close this out, does anybody have anything that they want to discuss?
What did I miss?
Probably all of it.
Literally everything.
Awesome.
Does anyone have any geopolitical points, opinions, things with continuity that they would like to bring up before we end it here?
Political spheres.
Going once, going twice.
It said political spheres.
Oh, political
I
spheres.
can't understand what you're
You,
saying.
you
Oh.
mumbled,
Politic-
Vaughn.
Oh, my bad.
Political
Thank you.
spheres.
Political spheres. What did you have to say on the subject?
What is it? Each continent's kind of got their own influence area, or like different nations kind of doing stuff. Like Finno's got influence over like a lot of like places, along with Athos. You're really picking one side or the other currently nowadays. And they all sign treaties saying if you go against, like, if you go ally of our enemies, that's bad, and it goes against our treaty.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, world splitting into influence spheres.
I can assure you that. Why did I just lose my train of thought? Sorry.
Feels bad.
Oh.
But I see that. I feel like I've been seeing this much more
I
on
need more
Exilus than in Rathnir and Eldham. That they're making sure that their allies can't do some wildness with their alliance systems, so it's not massively convoluted like it was. It definitely was on Eldham. Every war was basically becoming a world war with all the alliance structures and everybody trying to reach out for as many friends as possible.
Man,
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
I missed the giant world coalitions.
Oh, yeah.
Happening now.
Oh, I remember now. Ty has the Coliseum tournament coming up next Saturday.
Oh, that's good.
Yep.
And our train of thought on that is let's see how it works with just us. And then we're going to open it, make changes that we need to make. And then the next one will include members of our continent being invited to join. And then, since that's on a bigger scale, we'll see how that works, make any changes. And the idea is to just continue to amp it up to like a worldwide event eventually.
Perfect.
I received word from the north, like, Aaron and Blur speaking with Green Line once, and you bring something up similar to it, like doing a continental kind of tournament.
I'm down.
You did?
Yeah.
Wait, sorry, what happened? I can't really hear you.
It was, I can't remember when, but like, he brought it up at one point about doing like a continental, like, tournament.
Oh, okay, nice.
Just like in casual conversation we had once.
Ty, did you hear me? Did you know I was talking about you?
Huh?
He
I
joined
was
a little
talking
bit
about
before.
Oh, he did join a little while before? I
Yeah.
wasn't looking at the chat. I'm looking at other things. Oh, Unsaid Chester said, are you aware of the Bedic War? I just
No
want to say
idea what that
B-Dick
is.
War.
That's just saying B-Dick War.
Just be pack.
Yeah.
Oh, bed lick. Okay.
No, it says, yeah, just
Bed lick. There's
We're
nothing
having a
here.
deep philosophical discussion about this.
Let's see.
Whew.
Deadlift
conflict.
war.
It's
This
We
seems
don't
like
have any
something
ports.
silly. I've seen some of these names before, but I don't know what's going on here.
Oh,
we have a very interesting
Oh.
university class here.
Why the fuck why is Kim involved in this? What is the fuck he doing over here? I have no idea what this is. I'll go ask Kim in a bit.
what on earth is it? It's hard for me to contextualize the map.
Yeah.
All right,
Good,
guys, we
sorry.
seem to be done, so I am going to end
Oh,
it
it's like
here.
something self.
Thank you all
Thank you.
for participating. You guys don't have to go. I'm just going to end my recording because I'm going to put it on YouTube because I told people I would.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you
Done.
very much,
You
sir.
didn't tell anyone, huh?
Done.
Bye.